Greetings, brethren, and welcome back to the How to Get Better at Chess series, the series where I play games against opponents, I explain my moves and my thought process, try to explain my opponent's thought process and what they should be thinking, what I should be thinking, just general rules of how a chess player should be thinking, and how to get better at chess from that. A lot of people, they like to play chess, they like to just play moves, they just don't really have a game plan. Today's goal is to try to show what a game plan is, what you should be looking for in the position. So we'll play against Wendy here. We'll just start with nice old pawn to e4, just taking space in the center. Classic. Okay, we got the French defense right here. That's okay. We're going to take both pawns in the center. Lots of people, GothamChess. Guys will tell you, 2 pawns in the center. Okay, so we'll bring out our knight here, develop a piece, but also defend a pawn in the center. He pushes this here to put more pressure on this knight, but what we can do is push this pawn forward to attack the knight, so that it has to go somewhere else or go here. See, and now he's a bit more cramped, his bishop can't get out, his queen doesn't really block anything. So we can try to put some pressure on this right away. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to develop our pieces and we want to castle. General rule of thumb, you want to get your knights out before your bishops, so we'll bring out our knight right now. Okay, see, he brings out his knight to attack this, but everything's all nice and defended, so that's okay. We will bring out our bishop, just to put it somewhere. Okay, he goes here. We're just going to go back, and hide. He pushes again. We will just go and hide again. Have our pieces out, maybe try to threaten some sort of an overextension. Because if he would have pushed this, we always have different places we can put our knights. Like here, the knight becomes pretty good. So he's trying to put, trying to break our pawn chain at the front here. We can bring out our bishop just to defend this pawn. Okay, Wendy just moves the queen. I don't know why. Probably because we have a pretty good stranglehold here, maybe trying to manually castle the king, who knows. So now that the king is committed to this side, we can think, okay, we want to try to kind of attack on that side. So I don't really want to castle over here. It's a nice castle move, but I want to kind of try to use these pawns to try and go after this king now. So what I'll do, we'll just move my king right here. Sorry, my queen. Move my queen right there. So with this, we have takes. This is a very weakening move. So my opponent's like, okay, I'm trying to do something with the bishop here, but this is a really weakening move for the king. And we can think, okay, what happens if I just take this? Because I'm either retreating or, let's say I take this. I take this like this with this knight, and if he takes back, then actually I'm going to get my bishop in here. With a threat on his queen, and the only safe square for the queen is like here. So I can actually bring my queen over and try to attack this king, just like straight out of the gates. Like, I'm not castled yet, but this is a really good opportunity for me. So I'm going to take this pawn. Okay, and here, now I have a threat on this queen, but also threat of my own queen coming into the battle. See, now I've got a check. Do I have anything better? No, I don't think so. We have a check. Lots of stuff I can do here. Like, for instance, this rook is just trapped. If I go here, the rook is just simply trapped. And then I can even threaten some mating ideas over here. Do I have anything better? Just look around. You got the time. If you're playing a slower... Like, you're playing 10 minutes, then you got lots of time to look for stuff in areas like this where right out of the gate stuff has happened. If you have less time, like you're playing blitz, probably just a good idea to go here. Just take your advantage while you have it. So yeah, for this, actually the knight covers that square, so maybe I don't want to go just right into that. Maybe I could set up a discovered attack. Many things happening right now. Maybe I just want to castle my king and try to get my rook into the game as well. Not entirely sure. Not entirely sure. For now, we'll just play it safe. I'm not sure what to do. Like, king's way out in the open. I might as well try to bring some reinforcements over here to do something. Okay, we have a knight just taking the pawn. Not entirely sure why. My opponent probably just wants to bring some pieces over here to defend, but this doesn't exactly work because the issue before was this square was protected by this knight. But now this knight is only protected by this knight. So if I take this knight, then that square is no longer protected. Also, it just hangs the knight entirely, which is, you know, interesting. So I'll just take this. Okay. Makes sense. Another thing I can do here is king completely just out in the open. So these two guys attack this, but trying to rip open the position here. Because if I go like this to take this pawn, he can't actually take back. Because if I go like this, it's actually, I think it's mate. Not quite. I think he has to block with his queen. But then again, if I do this, and if he puts pressure on both of these pawns, on these pawns like this, then I might be in trouble as well. So, but this looks good to me. Just trying to get in there, like get this rook in here, get everything in here. So we are going to go for this move right now. Okay, he goes for that, but I can just retreat with my queen. We'll just go right here, go back. He can't take this. I'm also threatening forks and stuff over here. Okay. So now the queen protects all of this. So we sacrificed a bit of material, and nothing's really panned out. The king is still very weak, and we still do have things with that. So we can try to take advantage of that still. So the point is, bishop is hanging, right? So we can make threats by bringing the bishop back, and then this isn't mate, but we can do checks. Also, what just screamed out to me, because I didn't even like consider this, because I thought that the 1500 bot wouldn't do anything like that. Instead of taking the knight, they just hung a fork with the king and the queen. So there you go. Like 1500 bots, huh? Like this might be the worst game you've ever seen. Anyways, when you make big pressure in the opponent's territory like this, they're tending to make mistakes, and this is one of them for sure. So we will take this fork here. Of course, right? We'll just take it. Okay, we go here. And now, well, what do we want to do? Well, probably just get stuff to safety and threaten things. So this bishop's hanging. Obviously, you don't want to let that hang. So, like, you know, we could try pushing, but then he might just attack it. So we'll just go back to a nice square over here. So now he's thinking, oh my goodness, I'm down an entire queen. So he's going to try to want to not trade. You don't want to trade if you're down material, because then you just work to an endgame and then the opponent is winning. So this guy, he just gives me this knight trade. You're not supposed to want to trade, but now trading looks very nice here. So I'll just take this. Give him less stuff to work with. This is a free pawn. No, it's not actually, because the bishop covers, but we can, you know, we're like, okay, we want to get this pawn. King's out in the open. You should probably start checking the king. You could do stuff by accident by checking the king. Just make sure you don't hang anything, like I am up in material. We don't want to do anything to... Yeah, so queen there. We can just try to get our rooks into the game here. Push some pawns, like this bishop. We will just try to move this bishop somewhere else. Okay, he just, you know, he moved the bishop somewhere else. Okay, he's just kind of malfunctioning right now. That's okay. Put another rook on the file to put more pressure on this pawn. Okay. We will just go back, maintain the pressure on this pawn, and we will give this check now. More things are on this pawn. Now my queen is right here. Totally good. If he goes there. The goal is, once again, trade material. You're up material, try to trade. A move like this forces a trade because it goes in between the king and the rook here. So we can force a trade. So let's do that right here. And now you have like your ladder mate techniques, lots of different ideas in this position. Like, for instance, try, ladder mate, bringing up the rook, or think, okay, I'm going to check the king, go right here. Why? Because it skewers the king and the rook there. And that's his last piece that he can do anything with. So what a thing in endgames is watch for pieces on diagonals. You wanna try to prevent this diagonal, especially when you have like the dominant queen like right now. And now we get the rook. We pick up the rook. Okay, so now we will just try to ladder mate by doing this, cutting off all of the squares for the king. Yeah, we'll cut off all the squares for the king. Try to bring the rook over here to this square, like so. So that the rook is on the outside, the closest to the king, so that the rook is defended by the queen. For instance, if these were inverted and I tried to play checkmate here, it'd actually be like he could just take my queen, right? So you got to make sure the queen's on the outside, or you can just be careful. But there we go. That's how you can beat a 1500 bot. Admittedly, they played a pretty bad game. But yeah, that is how you can beat a 1500 bot on chess.com, and that's probably what you should be thinking when you're playing your games. Just try to, okay, what's my plan? What am I doing? Okay, their king was weak. They decided not to castle. That's why castling is so important. Like, we'll do a little game review here just to see what happened. Okay. Yeah, I played like a 1550, and they played like a 550. So I played like their level should be, and they did worse. So we'll go, with our little opening here. They play the French. We take the center. All of this. See, book moves everywhere. This is good. Just not blundering anything. Book moves everywhere. He makes a mistake. That's okay. I make a mistake back. Whatever. That's okay. We're getting our pieces back. You don't have to be like Magnus Carlsen out there. Everything is totally fine. Yeah, we just retreat again. He attacks my center. Okay, bishop, moves his king over. Yeah, you can tell this was a big blunder here. Obviously, you don't want to move your king like this. You want to bring out the bishop instead, and then castle. So, yeah. It says I missed a lot of stuff there. That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to. I still have an advantage. I guess I don't have the the evaluation bar. I'll need to do that for my next video. Anyway, mistake here, doing this pawn for the very reason... Oh, no, apparently not. Apparently not, it didn't like my sacrifice, but making things very difficult for your opponent, that's totally okay, because with this move, we totally open up the king. What did it think the best move was? It thought, okay, with the bishop. I guess it's because you end with the check. Still, the same idea. The same idea was right there, where you want to take these. I took with the wrong piece. That's totally okay. Because I just thought, okay, pressure on the queen, and then I can get my pressure on this queen. I get my queen over. If you can't calculate like 5-6 moves in the future, just be like, okay, this is fine. This is totally fine, because after this, the queen moved, and we gave it check. Okay, I guess it wanted me to take here. Again, with this idea we brought up later, with this idea of taking with the knights, and then if they take back, we take here, and then there's tons of pressure everywhere. So, not the best execution, but the ideas are right. The ideas are right there. So that's how you should be thinking in the chess games. Here, the king moves back, we castle. I just tried to be safe. Yeah. Knight blunder, I don't know why they did this. That's totally okay. We took back. They brought their bishop out. That's good. And apparently I was looking, this next move here, this knight move, this idea that we had before, it got us actually a brilliant move. So it wanted us to play it all the way back all the way back here instead. So instead of this move, they wanted us to play here. But they wanted to do us first, because if this, then we're just cooking. We're just cooking. They wanted us to do all the way back there, but not quite. That's okay. But we got the brilliant for that, and they couldn't actually take back. They could not actually take back. So, yeah, to do this bishop move, we just go back to defend. They, you know, the queen blunder isn't, it's inaccuracy, not a blunder, because they were already just losing so much. And yeah, then ended this game, we traded, and just cleaned up. They gave away their bishop for free, I don't know why. But yeah, just cleaned up at the end. Wow, that's crazy. Oh, I guess because I had mate in 2. I had mate in 2, so it didn't want me to skewer the king for the rook. Just says it's an inaccuracy, but that's okay. You can play systematically. You're not always going to find, you know, all these mates. But yeah, there we go. That is how to get better at chess, my friends. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.